Greetings. This is Kev, and this is BMBBH, and welcome once again. I won't take up too much of your time tonight. Just wanted to talk about a little something real quick, and like I said, it won't take that long. So, before I get started, let me remind you to be very mindful of what's going across the bottom of the screen. Number one, please like this video. It's for free. Likes are for free, and they're for the algorithm. If this is your first time and you're new to this channel and you're not subbed, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and set your notifications to all. Um, so once again, it's great to be doing this. My Cash App is active and the Super Chat is active too. So if you want to throw something in the pot, you can do that as well. Um, this stream is called "I Do This for My Own Reasons." Um, and let me explain why I say that. While I am representative of black men, I'm gonna speak this on several instances. But since I am representative of black men, which I don't speak for all black men. I'm not the black man spokesperson. Um, not everyone should be looking to me when it's time to get a little even though I wouldn't mind it, that everyone looked at me every time I started speaking, because you need that in order to function properly on a YouTube channel. Let's just face that. But one thing that I can say is that I do this for my own reasons. Now, you listen to any, if you're a person that listens to anyone in the space, um, and you decided, hey, I want to do a YouTube channel myself, then it's okay to be inspired. Hopefully, your experience is a positive one for whatever reason. But you know, so is for me, it's nothing wrong with that. But just want to let you guys, and it's not anything in particular or clarity, because just clarity, because there should be clarity here. Um, I'll help out the space in any way, shape, or form that I can. That's what I believe should happen when you are set on making sure that the black man has a voice out here, and it's not, black men should have a voice out here. It should. I mean, it should be as many of us as possible who are willing to just be that change. I'll say be the change that we often complain about not seeing. As individuals, taking the first step towards something. Yeah. But talk about a little bit of why I came to YouTube in the first place. Uh, um, Lots of it having to do with, the fact that there were very few representations out here of, not only black men, but black people. And some of the representations weren't being depicted that well by those who had the voice and had the platform to do so. Yeah. And, I'm not talking about any content creator in particular because, you can't say something like that about all of them. You can't, there are a couple that actually would be good representations, but we are the kind of people that don't push those people to the forefront. What we do is, is typical of who we are. We push people to the forefront that aren't necessarily good for us, which, it all depends on what you decide that you want to come here looking for, what you want to, look for, what kind of material that you want to take in. And, sometimes, we take in material that can be good for us mentally, and sometimes we take in material that is not so good mentally, whether we're seeking some form of entertainment or not. Mm. I don't. I'm not doing this because I'll tell you like this. I'm not doing this because we needed more. I kind of gotta laugh when I think about this. We needed more soldiers in the gender war. Yeah, I never came to this platform trying to stoke any kind of tension between the genders, male and female. Never, never, ever. I mean, I would rather be on the side of what's right, but it was never ever anything to piss off anybody based upon gender. It's about what's right and what's wrong. If something is wrong, I can't find myself to champion such a position based on anything, especially when it comes to because and the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people will say stuff like, we are in the middle of, this gender banging in this space, and it's just um, if somebody does some fuck shit, and that person happens to be a female, is not hating on the female or being sexist or whatever, is if you decide to call it out and call it for what it is, behaviors that we should not be participating in, because this because is that kind of thing is embarrassing. But I also go into this whole thing, this content creation, like knowing that I can't fix everything. You can't save them all. You can't save everyone. Some things, no matter how much you care about them, You're just gonna have to let it be unresolved. Yeah. Not to take too many responsibilities upon, you know, oneself, especially when it's not necessary. Don't save it. It doesn't want to be saved. Yeah. So let's see who's in the chat. Okay. RPM Dane one. A Lion in the Winter. Yakuza Series Generation Official. Lion in the Winter. Kev, are you feeling okay? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm feeling okay. Just sometimes we have some days are just longer than others. I tell you guys that much. He said he don't want no problems, but I do. What's going on, Bunker TV? D Scott, what's going on? Thanks for coming through, you guys. Yeah, I'm feeling okay. Just in the process of reevaluation, I would say. Trying to realign my purpose for what I wanted to do when I come to this platform, as a black man. Sometimes you talk about things because you want to continue to tell yourself that you're up here to do the right thing, to say the right things. It's not about, just mucking everything up. So, yeah. But yeah, man, this world is sort of weird. If I'm sure that any good person on this planet would. Um, if you could wave your hand and everything would be okay, everybody will be just fine and dandy and doing real great in their lives and, have nothing to complain about, then I will very well much do that. I don't know what you call it when you want everybody to be okay. Yeah. So, yeah, my purpose for coming up here, uh, like I said, I just want to be a good representation. I just want to be a good representation of, for black men because obviously there are so many of us that have decided to come up to this platform and discuss certain things. Yeah, we have something to say. Mm. So shouldn't be a real big shocker, but people would often say, come up here and offer some solutions, which is if you really listen out for um, a certain amount of material to take in, then you will hear some solutions that are being said. But that depends on the type of mentality that you would want to carry around. Yeah, said being human, of course. Of course, how much how much effort does it really take for one to be human these days? Yeah. Sometimes, I do have the same concerns other people have. Like, did my parents try to teach me the right things to, to the point where I could actually get out here and speak to whoever I need to speak to when there's time to speak. Mm. Yeah. So let me ask y'all some questions. Let me ask y'all a couple questions to those in the chat. What do you come up here on YouTube looking for when you look to hear black men speak? Because um, I'm gonna tell you guys something. This type of thing is becoming more popular, and as it does, some of us need to look at it as if it is a major responsibility. Being an influencer, I would say. Anything in particular? Mm, yeah, because I had to think about it. Before I became a content creator myself, what kind of material that was I willing to take in. And upon some self reflection, I would look back on the kind of content creators I used to watch. And, is one thing that I really thought about was, were these content creators actually trying to help, or were they just trying to be entertaining, or were they trying to do more damage than more 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 damage to an already damaged psyche that we all seem to possess? And what I took from that is, if I were to ever do this, become a content creator, what kind of force would I be representing? RPM says I look to relate with other like minded men. Yeah, 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 would say that's what I was looking for, not to necessarily complain and talk about stuff and get stressed out on things that were really beyond my control. Yeah, I was just, looking for, I don't know. I don't know. I guess when, you look for content creators that aren't controlled by a certain narrative, because you would get one flavor from mainstream media, and then you'll get another flavor from watching people on YouTube who aren't controlled by those narratives. And I found it very intriguing. I did that, the things that people were willing to say in order to get their point across. And in these type of environments is, that, especially, spaces like this, it is it's unrestricted. You don't have, there's not people trying to control what comes out of your mouth when it comes to um coming up here to speak and to talk and, say what's on your mind. And this is one thing that, we should be mindful of as content creators. What we do with our voices. So I can't say that I'm looking for anything specific, but I do like hearing other men going through the same shit I am basically. Yeah, yeah, confirmation that you're not crazy, as a content creator put it to me. You know, that is not just you. That that for the most part, a lot of us have been gaslit. Into believing that we should conduct ourselves a certain way and put up with the stresses that come up, to us in our everyday lives. Bunker TV says too much money involved, everybody compromised. Hmm. I mean, I would say this, and I was talking to somebody earlier today about this. Um, I would never, ever, I would say, knock someone who uses this platform as a hustle, a way of making money. Is I wouldn't knock that, especially with a black person. I mean, there's a lot of people that are sharing views that I don't agree with, but I don't know. I guess I'm kind of a loyal to the community in that aspect of wanting to see another black person become successful. And no matter what that person does, as long as it's not harming them or you're not breaking the law, I don't see what's wrong with it. If a person, I was telling this person, if a person got rich off just doing YouTube, there is nothing that should be said negative about that person. Like, why would you care if a person was successful uh, by, I would say, going to school for like 20 years and finally get the job that they were trained to do versus opening up a YouTube channel and getting to the success that way. It's like, why should I care? If I ever became successful on YouTube, it'll be to hell with what the haters say. There are people that are using means besides, going to school for 20 years and finally getting that job. There's plenty of ways to become successful. This is one thing that I really wish that the I would say the previous generation's parents would have emphasized on, rather than telling someone, look, if you just go work this job and you work really hard, then you'll become successful. Successful, helping someone else live out their dreams. Instead of saying, hey, you know what, go out there and hustle for it. This is free enterprise. Well, at least in the Western culture, this is a capitalist society. There are plenty of ways for you to get to the money. I would never ever knock someone doing YouTube and making money. Anthony Drosso says, what if their message is fraudulent and harmful, though? I mean, we've already seen that. I mean, and I get that aspect of it. You never want to support anyone that's doing damage, but that's going to have to be a something that is personal to you. And because one thing that I've learned is, even if it is an idiot that is the successful one, then he or she is obviously uh, got some type of product that the people want. You can speak out against it. But if that person's success is beyond your control, then my suggestion to each and every one of you is, um, try to focus on some of the things that you can control. What's going on, Princessa? Thanks for coming through. Yeah, I never minded the female presence when it came to broadcasts such as this. I understand that, there are some content creators that are very cautious when it comes to females being around. I'm just not one of them. I guess I'm just built that way. I do understand that there is reasons for caution when females come around, but you have to take that up with those kinds of females. Females, women like Princessa, they are cool and they do offer some constructiveness to the conversation. Mm. The point that I was trying to make as far as this topic is concerned is, say if it's just me and talking, I don't mind leaving. No, you're good. You're good. I mean, you probably run into platforms that were like that. That guys are that would say that this is supposed to be a men's only platform, especially with a lot of the sentiment being expressed within the black manosphere, and a lot of that reasoning is because that there are so many detractors of the space. What I'm trying to get a lot of people to realize that detractors in the space are male and female. You know, like I said, this gender banging, I can only go so far with it. I just would rather be on the right side of history. I would say that. A line in the winter says Anthony Drossos, they are usually exposed. Yeah, yeah, like I would say Derrick Jackson. Derrick Jackson spent a very long time telling, his base of viewers and followers what they wanted to hear. And it turns out that he wasn't being true to the message that he was putting out there. One thing I do not suggest for people is to be something that you're not, because you can get exposed, and it it won't be pretty once it happens. One of the worst things that I've ever seen on these platforms is someone that does pretend that there's something that they're not, and then they get exposed, becoming a cautionary tale. You know, I would never come up to this platform saying that I'm balling and you guys should be doing the same, and I'm better than you and all this other stuff. And I know that there are certain folks that give off an appearance that is like that, or like it's like they're portraying a character that they made up. And this I'm not going to be that guy that's portraying a character. This is actually me. And either it works or if it doesn't, it doesn't. But uh, it's not going to be anything on some phony or some fake shit. Yeah. So anyway, like I hope everybody had a good week this week. If you're working a job, hopefully that you gotten a raise or some consideration to, move about in greener pastures. But if not, then, just continue to uh, improve upon yourself and become the best version. Because, you only get, as far as I know, you only get to do this one time. Yeah, as far as I can tell. Yeah. But anyway, anyway, shoot. So just want to tell you guys that this world isn't perfect. that this world isn't perfect. It never was perfect. It supposedly has not been perfect since Eve bit the apple. The Infinite Chameleon, what's going on? Hmm. Now, as far as what my allegiances are, um, and I mean, if you've been watching this program, when I um start to speak to you guys, one of the first things that I will say is long live the habitual line steppers. If that gives you guys any clue at all. So more on that in the future, I would say. But that's always been understood. Long live the habitual line steppers. I want to see all of us win. That's why I say I'm gonna win because I want to see myself included in that winning. So, uh, you know, not when I say I'm gonna win, it's not me being cocky or believing that I am entitled to things that I do not deserve. To say that I do this for any space, however, like I would say the black manosphere. Yes, I do consider myself to be a part of the black manosphere. And when that is said, that you have to say it with some amount of courage because what has happened is that the words black manosphere have become a buzz term, and you have a lot of content creators that are determined to make the word manosphere a buzz term. What I mean by buzz term is it automatically invokes a negative response even upon hearing the word being said. Say, for example, a buzz term would be the word nigger. A buzz term would be sexist, misogynistic, manosphere. And a lot of that negative outlook has come from the Euro white parts that call themselves manosphere. Now, a lot of those guys are mentally unglued, but when I say manosphere, I mean black manosphere. You know, if when you say that word manosphere, it fits guys into a certain box. Just people will try to call you all kinds of names and say a bunch of things about you that aren't true if you actually believe yourself to be a part of the black manosphere. You have to get ready to, absorb a certain amount of criticism and probably some unfair treatment. Because you have those who's trying to make the word manosphere a buzz term, make you ashamed of, even wanting to be a part of something that carries the reputation of this space. And a lot of it comes from the fact that they have stuck the stigma on this space that all we care about is talking about bitches, talking about females, chasing around females, trying to negotiate with an unruly class of people that don't care about in particularly fixing things or making things better for the overall general populace of black people. What I'm not here to do is negotiate with terrorists. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to bring anyone that to the table or otherwise that has a bad intent toward anyone that wants good to come out of all of this. Greg, what's going on? Good to see you, brother. Princessa said, "Have you seen the Psychology Today article floating around saying men have a high rate of loneliness since dating standards have gone up? SMH. It seems to be a dig at the manosphere. I could be wrong." Oh yeah, that article was also written up by old ass peppered up white feminist. So whenever the first thing that I do whenever I see an article is that I look at the author of that article, the writer of that article, and see what kind of archetype that I'm dealing with. Yeah, because I remember that article that was floating around a few weeks ago about should black women consider dating white men. And that article, that particular entry was written by a black man, So I always try to look at the credibility of a person that is, if you're going to talk about a certain group, then are you a part of said group or are you just trying to be on the outside looking in? The Infinite Chameleon says, Kev, enjoy the rest of the night jumping off. Hubby on the way. Uh, HM Saturday night. Alrighty. Thanks for coming through. And I do leave these broadcasts up. So Anthony Drosso said, I read it too. It claimed that because men don't know how to be emotionally available. I mean, you leave a lot of men, when we try to be what is quote unquote emotionally available, then that's when we get our heads chucked off. So a lot of men are guarded, and it is for good reason. It's not something that that we easily share because we easily share or let people in because we have not been conditioned to be such. And it's I don't I don't I don't consider that something that is very wrong for us to feel. If you've experienced anything in this country and Western culture as a black man, the Roger Report live. What's going on? Long live. I say, when have they ever not considered dating white men? I don't think that there's been one spot in history. KP from KC5, what's going on? Yeah. So what was I saying a second ago? Yeah, about how everyone is trying to make the word manosphere a buzz term, basically something that every time it's been said or being said as of late, that it invokes a negative response. You know, so I do want to offer the clarity up. It's like, yes, I do represent the black manosphere, and when you go around saying that, then it's something that is almost as if it's something that has to be defended, because one thing I do understand is that not everyone in the space shares the same views, but people are going to be people about certain things. They're not going. We don't accept the things, for what they are. We just accept them for what we want them to be, and that isn't always necessarily correct. It isn't. So, you know, I'm not always correct. I'm correct a lot, but any claims for perfection, no, that's not. It's not the case. It's not the case at all. So, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So I dropped a link for anyone that wants to come up. Otherwise, I'll probably go ahead and wrap this up. Wrap this up. So, but before I do, um, go ahead and talk about the future of this particular channel. Day one, black folks can't have shit. Soul food, rock and roll, R&B, hip hop. Yeah, yeah. I'm probably gonna be, switching to a more diverse array of content. I would say. I mean, still being able to cater to my people, but just try to consider how this thing is going to evolve. So, what's going on, Roger?
Not much, not much. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, what uh what it is, man? Shit, it's just another day in this crazy mixed up world.
Yeah, I didn't see the beginning of the show. I just had a chance to tune in, but I got about 30 minutes on my hands, real quick. So I wanted to touch with you, and I see your title where I see hashtag manosphere, and I just heard you saying about people trying to make it the manosphere something that needs to be defended. So
Well, what I was saying was they were trying to make the word manosphere a buzz term. I see that quite often, especially with some of the content creators that are local to this space. saying it as if that it is a bad thing and not a good thing for, the overall, you know, long term goals of whoever decides to set foot up here as a content creator.
So basically, you taking notice of haters. That's what it sounds like you're describing. you I see there's a lot of men doing a lot of good things in the space that you saying people are trying to make the space seem like it's a bad thing. And if you're trying to make something that's good seem bad, sound like you're a hater. That's just what like we know if that was in reference to a female, we call that dirty Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't like that guy. No, 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 hold on. He's good at sport. You shouldn't be. That's not a good thing,
Yeah.
So, but all the men put a lot of good information that can help us. A lot of other brothers save a lot of time, especially the younger guys. A lot of guys deal with stuff in an easier fashion. Older guys who are already in situations, older guys who may be going through a divorce, or some type of breakup, or people who need to retool their life. And there's a lot of good life advice out here. There's information people can get on different types of jobs and careers, and somehow that's bad.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I
Yeah,
uh,
mean,
it's hard.
we can't have a problem and look for some type of departure, or some soul searching, or maybe someone take into consideration that there are other people who have the proper insight on said situations. Dang one, say something real quick. What's going on?
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, I'm just here because you was talking about how the black people, how, like I said, we ain't got nothing. We can't even have a manosphere no more. That's bullshit. We can't have nothing. And I'm like, yo, man. But some of that is our fault, is black people's fault, because we always want to share shit. We don't gotta share a damn thing. We share our culture. Mexicans don't do that. They don't share shit. You don't see a white bandit singer. You don't see a white oriental singer. You don't see a white geisha girl. Black people, why do we always gotta share shit?
but
Why?
I'm not gonna say we just out here trying to share. People want to be like us. That's the one thing about being the greatest. People want to be like you.
Yeah, I understand that, but you ain't gotta just look like when people say, "Oh, that white dude can dance." You gotta see at the barbecue. No, the fuck you don't. I'm so fucking sick of this. The barbecue. Oh, you gotta see at the barbecue. No, no, no.
Oh, you talking about the cookout?
Yeah,
Invite them to the
he
cookout.
gotta, yeah, invite him to the cookout. And then we're gonna invite him. No, the fuck, no, no, no. And then we're gonna sit his ass at the kids table. I don't
Well,
get it. No.
no, all I'm saying is if you a white guy and you could dance like we think white people dance from a general standpoint, then you could dance like black people dance. Which one you gonna pick? You got a choice. you
I ain't
know.
gonna pick neither.
No, no. What I'm trying to say to you, brother, there's always pros and cons, and when you the coolest people on the planet, people gonna try to imitate you. That's just what it is. You know,
Yeah.
I can't
See,
blame them for wanting to be us.
yeah, I ain't mad at that shit. You want to be us, go for it. See, but like, who said that? I think Paul Mooney said, he said, everybody want to be a nigga and get a police car up.
Yeah, I mean that part ain't finna change. That part ain't finna change. They don't want. People want the good part about something. They don't want to deal with the hassle that comes with it too. So that's gonna be there. You know.
Okay, I will say this. The only white dude I know that can't come to the cookout, he can come to my cookout, is my adopted dad. 'Cause he's a white dude. That's about it. And I don't. I'm not cool with none of that. Yes, because black people just let's bring to the cookout. They bring let's bring Tommy some power to the cookout. I'm like, dude, let it go. Fuck, the cookout is for us. We the ones that cookout. Why don't you invite some black folks? Invite like Michael John White or somebody. You know, you ain't gotta invite Tommy or anybody or Justin Timberlake or any of them motherfuckers. Eminem, I don't give a damn. No cookout
Well,
for you.
well, brother, what I mean, I'm just saying, in the real world, people gonna want to show up there. We don't have to invite them; they're gonna want to come anyway. That's not something
So
we're controlling. We're not telling people to start to dance and sing and try to act like us. They're doing it because that's what they want to do. We're not telling them to be like us. They just choosing to be like us.
no, but I'm just like mad because some black people because that's acceptance when you invite them to the cookout. That's acceptance. You're accepting them. You're allowing them to do that. I mean, from a,
Well,
it
that's what
doesn't
I'm
feel
trying.
like
I'm trying to get a range. Are you talking about from a general standpoint or an individual standpoint?
an individual standpoint. Like that's your boy because he's your boy. You're inviting him to the cookout. No, you got to run them through the avenue. Not everybody knows him. It's like that. People, oh, because they're a fan of so he's invited to the cookout. Nah, man, come on, really? Let us have our stuff. That's like how they're trying to take medicine away. I ain't heard no white dude say anything about the medicine. It's always been brothers. It's like, oh shit, Duke Jackson, maybe mediocre tourism reviews, that dude, and Infinite Chameleon. Those are the only times I've ever heard of the medicine. I ain't never heard no white dude say it, and it's crazy that they want to take that.
Hmm. Well, we should. Well, I get what you're saying, man, but we should accept no one another based on our own strength. I do get what you're saying. I did a broadcast on that about a year ago about inviting motherfuckers to the cookout. Just because they might try to speak our lingo, or they might throw out a couple of bars from a rap song, or
Yeah,
they're another group of people that just so happen to be fucking somebody that's black.
yeah.
But I would say that maybe you should tighten up the requirements a little bit, or give give us a little bit more credence as far as the ones that are already black and the ones that already had to endure the struggle that is put before us in Western culture, not to make us into victims per se. Because I don't like when people try to use victimhood to gain a leg up or whatever. It's just that um, it's enough to experience this as a black person anyway. To let
Mhm.
other groups in on without the struggles that we had to go through, that is just something that I question. I'm
Yeah.
not finna sit up here and just make you black just because you know the lyrics to one of my favorite rap songs, or
Or you can dance or something, or you got rhythm. Fuck that. White people had rhythm back in the 70s when the coke was pure. Don't matter.
said they had to get a little coke and PCP in their system.
Yep. And you get a white girl in the system.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, weather? I mean, I said I only go to Korean barbecues. The fuck?
No, them shits be pop.
Shout out to weather. Shout out to weather.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Korean barbecues. Yeah, them shits be popping though.
Yeah. And man, that infantry skills said local politics, black men. I mean, uh, what do y'all think of that? What do y'all think? The effects that if we focused on local politics within our areas, could that be the first steps toward social change and improvement?
That
Well,
might help.
it, it's good to focus on on local politics in general because it is affecting what's around you at a closer level. So I'm always for looking at your local politics, but you got to do things from a well-rounded place. You got to think about your local stuff, and you got to think about
Mm,
Yeah.
like anything dealing with voting. It's like, okay, well, what's good for me? What's good for my family? What's good for my people? And what's good for the country? I kind of try to consider it all in that order. Me, my family, my people, being the country. You know what I'm saying? I try to look at stuff in that way. So, I mean, if you don't have your locals in order, that's going to affect you immediately. It don't really make a difference what's happening too far away
I
from you
live,
if your local ain't in order.
man, I live in California. Gavin Newsom. Oh no.
mm,
I feel you. I got family in Chicago and Murray Lightfoot. Beetlejuice? No, that's not popping. That is just too violent out there. My cousins be telling me how people are getting shot down the street from. I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm good. I don't live there no more. I live in another shithole. I live in California. It's like, dude, it's too much. And they can do locally, but who's gonna vote locally? Everybody's just waiting for the president to vote for the president. I'm like, dude, you gotta do it at home. You clean your house and then go out there and deal with some other people.
mm.
Now, and I will say that I mean, if you look at the manosphere, you know what I'm saying, because we participate in the Black manosphere. That's not local, but is it creating the change we need? Oh, absolutely. I definitely believe
Yeah,
so. It's creating change that we need all over the place. So, not quote unquote local because you got different people who participate from different places in the country. And technically even different places in the world. And we cross great. We are creating definitely sowing the seeds for great changes in the future, and we're making some good changes right now. So you know, when I heard you saying that people are trying to make the word like a buzzword, like it's something negative, at some point in time, you just got to say people just hating. You know,
yeah,
there's too many good, good, productive people in the Black manosphere. And we got too many people who can talk about a myriad of different things that's positive for Black men. And something part of being a Black manosphere, we improving the image of Black men as a whole. So I get why people are attacking them because it is improving the image of Black men. That's what it's actually doing, you know, because it's showing that Black men care. And people may not think about it that way, but overall, you got a group of different men that got on the internet, started giving out information that can help other brothers, and we help, what I'm saying, collectively, the Black manosphere, even before we was ever a part of it, has helped so many brothers in so many different ways. To speak against it, you're just a hater at the end of the day, and you just don't want what's good for Black men, which is part of the reason they were in the first place. Because we live in a society that's anti-Black men. So Black men caring for Black men is a wonderful thing. If you ask me, I don't care how you break it down.
Mm.
yeah.
You know, I applaud every brother out there that's doing whatever part he's doing to make our world a better place. Because
Yeah.
anybody in the Black manosphere who's doing that, you know what I'm saying? Now, everybody ain't gonna necessarily have the best talking points. People gonna develop over time. Some people gonna start, at A. Other folks start at Q. But we all trying to get to Z. So
Yep.
any brother who's attempting to help us get to Z, man, more power to the brother. Got respect for it.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, Weather says I think this space has exposed a hidden antisocial streak in black men. Um, which,
I don't know. I don't know if it was hidden, but I'm not gonna say it was hidden. I think it exposed that we're taught to be anti-black men in this country. That's all. So when people notice certain things or certain guys doing certain things, I think you're just noticing what people have been taught. This whole country has socialized everybody to be anti-black men. Now, you didn't necessarily accept it because there's always an exception to the rule. That's what the country taught everybody. It just depends on how much of it did you accept and when did you let it go. But the country as a whole, we were all, unless um, never really paid it. If you don't watch television or you don't put yourself with mainstream media, you've been taught to be anti-black men. Period. And some guys, they just it's just you see it in them. That's all.
hmm,
But you got to give them room to change and be better.
okay. Hey, I got a new person up here, B Dup.
My name is Malcolm K from Memphis, Tennessee. I live 4832 Craigmont. I'm a student at
Hey,
Craigmont.
hey, hey,
I'm a
hey, hey,
student
bro.
at North
That's
Side.
somebody
I'm a
putting out
student at
somebody's personal
Unrestricted. I'm a
information
student
to
at
sound
High
like, brother.
School.
What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know who that. Yeah, he trying to. I don't
I
trust
thought
that.
it was gonna. I thought it was gonna be that dude talking about some fuck you, man, fuck all this, that. I thought it was gonna be one of them talking laugh. Them dudes be killing me. I'm like, young kid, come
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah. These guys be trying to troll.
Yeah,
Yo, man, I don't like what you talking about, man. I'm like, dude, get a life.
Okay, we got Phil Brad in the house, Dollar Washer, D Rock Den. What's going on? Weather said, Kev, did you happen to catch Bernard's stream on Friday? Nah, I didn't catch it. Yeah, I'm sure that. I don't know. I'm sure that he represented the space and fittingly, but yeah. But gotta watch some trolls.
absolutely. One slipped past me Friday myself. I had to kill the stream on Friday. Yeah,
Oh God.
they.
Yeah. Right. What? Somebody
Oh,
tried to bomb you again?
man, I mean, the boy, they've been trying to do that every day. But one of them slipped past for a hot second, so I had to take the stream down. You know, not the end of the world, but you know, they don't let up. They don't let up. You know,
Yeah, not at all.
you know. But the trolls only come because they know you got something hot. You know,
Yeah.
if you weren't getting trolls, you may when you're a pro black man and you're not getting trolls, you might not be as pro black man as you think you are.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, some of these motherfuckers are just sad like that.
We
Left.
swimming upstream. We swimming upstream. You know that's what it comes out to. We swimming upstream.
Hmm.
You know, to want to do something positive for black men, you're swimming upstream. Just like you said, they want to tag that the word manosphere as a negative thing. Why? Because it's helping brothers. Well,
Mm.
now me and we know that's something that existed for years and years and years. Now we never really heard about it. You know what I'm saying? And even when I came into the internet, I never heard the quote unquote manosphere was bad in itself. But when you attach that black to it, then I I heard that was bad plenty of times. You know, but I don't really hear people saying manosphere is bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got some, but before I even knew what this space was, I never heard the manosphere. I'm talking about the overall where all the white folks and stuff be at. People didn't.
Mm.
I wasn't hearing that being tagged as some terrible place in the beginning. It was just men
I
talking
heard,
about things that
I heard,
that concern them.
I heard of some white ones, but I was like, that don't concern me. I'm not white, so.
No, I didn't listen to them, but my point is I didn't hear them being negatively tagged.
No, I've seen some white ones. I've seen like maybe
No,
two. You know,
no.
wasn't.
My point is they weren't being negatively tagged. Black manospheres
Oh
get
yeah.
negatively tagged because they're is black and men. When you put black and men together
Okay.
in a country that teaches people to be anti-black man, of course you're gonna have people coming at it.
Mm.
Okay. Now I understand you.
You know, you know, how what's one of the ways you know Jesus was black? They put him on the cross. Black man was doing good. You kill him. That's what you do.
Mm. All right. Got D Rock Den with the super sticker. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see what the weather's saying down there. When black men cheer on a black woman getting mistreated by a black male police officer, it really shows you what this really is. It shows me that both sides are just out to hate each other.
And that's sad.
What? Well, I haven't seen anything like that recently. I say that I haven't seen anything recently like that because I know there's a clip going around. I didn't see a woman get mistreated by a police officer from what I saw.
Mm.
I,
Then he
I
said,
saw a woman who thought she was a police officer's authority, and she didn't know how to calm down for her own good.
What you
Came in
talking
and was
about
like,
that one? You talking about that Black Lives Matter one that had that big issue up there?
"No, no,
It
this
was
is
like,
there is a clip going around where about a woman who I'm assuming was on a date with a gentleman, and they just happened to be in the park and it was closed."
oh,
mm.
I thought you were talking about the he she that was trying to start stuff with that cop and got socked.
I have no idea what you're talking about, honestly.
Mm.
No, there was one with this black lady that was like, "Get your hand off my daughter! Get your hand off my daughter!" And the cop was above
I
it.
haven't seen that at all.
And
I haven't seen it at all.
oh really? Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Whether he asked a question, he said the divestors in the black manosphere in some instances are starting to carry the same vitriol. And so my question is, where does this ultimately lead black men and women? It's mutual destruction. Um, I don't know if you can say that they're carrying the same destruction because you do have divestors that saying that you should set up black men to be for death by cop, and I don't see the I don't unless you guys have been to broadcasts that I haven't been to. I haven't seen people who claim black manosphere really have as much disdain and vitriol for black women as the divestors do for black men. Now, I'm not saying that one is worse than the other because from what I do understand or what I've come to understand is I don't tune into every Black Manosphere broadcast.
Well,
I Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that one is worse than the other. Divestors are messing with people's heads. A lot of brothers are concerned with divestors. Divestors are a group of black women that hate black men. Period.
Hmm.
So they're nothing like the black manosphere because the black manosphere don't hate black women. Period. You know what I'm saying? Black men don't hate black women. That's not even a general concept for black men. Okay, divestors are women who hate black men that happen to be black. They don't talk about the same stuff. They're not alike at all. So if you think that divestors and black men have much in common, then you're not paying attention to anybody that's actually in the black manosphere.
Mm.
If you listen to what a divestor says, they don't recommend you deal with black men at all. Okay. Period. None of us are good. We're all terrible. Everybody's a killer. Everybody wants to sexually assault women. Everybody wants to destroy women for all kinds of ridiculous reasons that they claim. So, yeah, that's I don't even know why people pay so much attention to them. They just a group of women who openly hate.
Mm,
That's really what it comes down to. From everything I can tell about their vessels, they just openly hate, and they're allowed to because they're women.
mm. I mean, but in that case, Roger, anybody is allowed to feel anything that they want.
I mean, they can, but if black men could openly hate black women, you know what I'm saying? You hear all type of stuff. The truth is, you couldn't openly hate on social media if you wanted to, because social media sites won't even let you.
Mm.
You
Well, I
know, back
mean, like, yeah, I mean, depending on a certain rhetoric that is being used, if you're using obvious, blatant rhetoric that is full of hate, then I get something happening to you like that. But uh, go ahead.
but no, what I'm saying is, women on social media can openly hate black men.
Oh,
Black
okay,
men
yeah,
cannot openly hate black women on social media or anybody for that matter. They're not allowed to. So that's what I'm saying. Though they are so far apart, it's ridiculous. Because black men cannot hate. We can't openly hate anybody on social media. Any black man openly hating anybody, as soon as their page, channel, whatever you want to call it, is reported, they gone. Social media don't allow that, and I'm not I'm talking about all social medias. Black men are not allowed to hate anybody on social media. As soon as people find out you hate somebody, they get rid of you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that is true. I mean, I can give you an example. I'm not plugging this guy because he no longer has a YouTube channel after 50 attempts. But Tommy Sotomayor, like he is someone that is followed around and constantly flagged, and I believe they finally succeeded in flagging him completely off of YouTube. And what the reason why I bring him up is because of the fact that he has the reputation for being, for spewing hatred against said group of women. Now, said group of women, you're right about this, Roger, can do anything they want. You have like a lot of these divester channels, since the word divester got brought up. um ain't nobody trying to flag their channel down. Ain't nobody trying to, and I mean, the meat of their content is like the main focus of their content is anti-black man. It like just look, I dare you to go on a divester channel and try to look for the content that isn't anti-black man.
I'm not gonna even say it's just anti-black men. That's a different level because America in general is anti-black men, but on those channels they have a lot of open hatred. Okay, then
Yeah,
it's very overt. They're not trying to hide anything, you know, but they can be on social media and be left alone because they're women. This is what it is because their hatred of black men is not disturbing in a country that is already anti-black men. So it's just
yeah,
not disturbing. Tommy, and I'm not gonna say Tommy openly hates black women. He has a problem with black women for sure. It's just some of the stuff they do is disturbing to him. That's for sure. I've seen enough of him to know that's the case. He's disturbed by some of the things that black women do. Now, people don't like how he expresses how he's disturbed by them. Because I mean, back in the day, people asked me about him. I started checking the man out, and they was like, he's a terrible man, and he's saying this and he's saying that. And I went to his channel. The man was showing videos of what women was doing and reporting on them. I can't say he hates somebody for reporting on what they're doing, and he's showing videos. So that didn't make a lot of sense to me. So the whole thing was Tommy lives in a society that is anti-black man. So if you just make people think you hate black women, A lot of times you'll get pushed around when it comes to social media, and that's what happened to him. Because I don't think he actually hates black women. He wants better for women and men, and he wants better for black people. People just don't like how he goes about expressing it, and the fact that he keeps showing receipts is a huge issue for them too. The man steady got a receipt on what somebody did. So I think that's one of the main things too, is that he comes with receipts on too many occasions for people's comfort. It's one thing to say that he don't like you, but the thing is he kept showing why he doesn't like you. And that's a little much for people when you already live in an anti-black man society. They don't want to hear that, because that's not the rhetoric that people won't push around. They want the rhetoric to be anti-black man, not anti-black woman, not anti-white man, not anti-white woman, not anti-Chinese man, not anti-Chinese woman, and so on and so forth. You know, so I know for sure black men are not allowed to openly hate anybody on social media.
No.
Because if we were, there'd be a ton of examples of dudes doing it. Because there's always some crazy folk, but the examples don't exist because we're not allowed to. Now, have I ever seen somebody on social media that was a black man spit something that sounds like hatred? Absolutely. Were they taken down? Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. You cannot survive on social media spewing any kind of true hatred. Like, you can't be a black man that says anything critical about black women. I mean, lest you end up like someone like Christian Obenselli, you
Yeah.
know.
Open hatred is not going to be tolerated by black men on any social media, period.
No,
It's
not
just
at all.
tolerated. Yeah, you can get somebody who pissed off or maybe upset or something like that, and then people will try to tag them as hating black women, but ain't none of it true.
And then once
Black
you get
men,
labeled, it's so hard to shake that label.
well, I mean, it is, but I'm just saying, for just in real life, black men ain't allowed to hate nobody on social media. We just not allowed to. We could want to, and we ain't allowed to. So that's why I'm basically pushing the issue, because I've seen the diverse of things. It's a ton of them people that just openly hate black men, and nobody has a problem with it. The stuff I've heard them say is ridiculous.
Yeah, utterly ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
I hear people calling for black men's lives to be ended. When you can call for men's lives to be ended, what I'm saying, openly, and you just grow and nobody bothers you too much, or maybe somebody is reporting them, but they ain't taking nobody channel down that I can tell. You know what I'm saying? So, the stuff I've heard being said, I know brothers can't say it and keep a channel up. So my thing is, I just I'm not gonna accept this idea that black men, because that ain't even who we are as men in general. We don't just hate people, period. That's just not who we've never been, that type of people, nor has it ever been allowed in this country. So to say we hate anybody openly is ridiculous to me.
hmm, hmm. Yeah, that's yeah, that's pretty that sounds like that makes a lot of sense, man. And we both know from our own experiences what this is like. We come up here, we tell the truth on our experiences and what we've observed throughout the years, and we're basically we can be punished for it. Don't ever be the guy that tells the truth to people who look like us, or we're going to receive a lot of criticism and a lot of harsh treatment for it.
Yeah,
And you got to have a thick enough skin to be able to uh, put up with being treated that way. Because if you don't, you're gonna end up running yourself ragged, running yourself crazy, paying attention
absolutely.
to
Yeah, yeah. Other people can call for a black man's death.
Yeah, that's
Black
that,
men get
which is
called to the
pretty,
carpet.
fucked up once you really, really begin to think about it.
Yeah, yeah. And while others can call for black men's death, black men lose challenge for hurting people's feelings.
Yep. So it's not really nearly equal on that account. I mean, let me see what's going on in this chat though. D Rock Den, thank you for the super chat. He said, "When have black men celebrated the death of black women? Never." And
Exactly.
Tall Lee Blu-ray, I see you down there. Shaka Nulu, I see you down there as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, open hatred is that's ain't. Hey, I'm just gonna say, if you a man, try it and see how long your channel stay up.
Yeah.
Good luck with
I
that. That's
mean,
all I'm
yeah,
saying. Good luck.
yeah. I mean, let me tell you from my own experiences. Uh, we're having platforms on, name black men being brutally honest on Facebook and YouTube. You know, you with a name like that, you have to tread a certain way. I would say, or places like this are always put under the microscope, and any hint of any kind of trouble, and I probably will be gone. You know, and it's something that I think about every time I come up here.
Yeah, yeah. Black men, we get in trouble for standing up for ourselves, let alone trying to hate somebody else. I mean, the concept is just crazy to me. You know, people don't even want us to stand up for ourselves, let alone hate somebody. We
Mm,
can't even say leave us alone and be left alone.
mm,
And that's what a lot of men just simply call for. Can y'all just leave us alone for once and just
mm,
let us live our lives and not really go out some way to bother us and create unnecessary situations for us to deal with? But the answer is a resounding no. Society proves that day in, day out.
mm. Yeah, yeah, and it probably won't end anytime soon, no matter what we say or no matter what we try to do about it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's as real as it gets.
Yeah, yeah, and I wouldn't even say that I'm the most combative person in the world. I used to get, and a few years back when I first started seeing these kinds of things, I used to get super triggered. It's a shame when you can come before people and say I've gotten used to this. It really is.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. You know, because most black men who done been on some level of social media, you done got banned or channel done ended, or page done ended, or for some of the slightest stuff. You see what your stuff go down with, you know.
Mm,
But can women do it? Oh, absolutely. It's not an issue. You can't even repeat what they said. You can't even say, I heard such and such say such and such, or such and such stated such and such. And you know what I'm saying? You gone, they not. So I think we got to get past even thinking that a man, you know what I'm saying, especially a black man, can actually put hatred on social media and expect to keep it up. Because it just don't exist. You know, so which is why it's even more ridiculous that people try to tag quote unquote manosphere. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Men are not allowed to do that.
yeah,
People, other men are always going to be protective of women. Period. It's just the way it's going to always be. So if
yeah.
they think some women feelings, if too many women's feelings get hurt, they gonna have an issue.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, that's the truth. Like, feelings over facts and data.
Hmm.
And it's just the condition that we live in right now. Feelings over facts and data. If I feel like it's wrong, then it must be wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Men gonna have a long way to go to. Man,
Whether
I was
whether
talking to. Oh,
go
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead,
Go
bro.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No,
My bad. I ain't mean to cut you off.
no, cause whether say y'all need to check out the Manosphere Deathstroke. Believe me, he does all that and more. Hates LOL, wishes death, the whole nine.
Well, he not manosphere. That's number one. I mean,
He calls
unless we talking
himself
about the white
Manosphere
manosphere.
Deathstroke. I
Yeah,
guess that mean that he Manosphere.
unless he might if he a white guy or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that we don't even know who that dude is. So he ain't part of the black manosphere. Just because somebody use a term because the term actually has some weight to it now. Don't just because somebody said it don't mean that they're in it.
Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Let me look for this channel.
And truth be told, real talk is probably somebody doing it on purpose, trying to give the black manosphere a bad name. He probably don't like the black manosphere himself.
I don't see this channel. I mean, is the channel called Manosphere Deathstroke? I mean, but look. Here's the thing, though, Roger. If it's a black guy, if it's a black male, and he has a YouTube channel, and he's saying all kinds of effed up crap, they're gonna stick him on us. They're gonna stick him on us anyway.
No, I totally understand that, but at the end of the day, we not gonna accept him. And guess what? Just like you know, he said, the comments said he was spewing some hatred, and now you can't find his channel. That's consistent with black men not being allowed to hate anybody on social media. That's very consistent. Let's say he was putting out some hateful stuff. Now you can't find his channel.
Whether he said the actual name of the channel, Almighty Lord of Honesty. I have seen that guy before. Oh, yeah, he's pretty strong as far as what he says. Like, it's very like he'll call one a Cynthia G supporter in a second. It's like that brother's off the chain. But as far as well, him being local to this space, then I can't really say.
He ain't local to the space. I got no clue who the dude even is.
Yeah, you'd
And
be
you saying
surprised
he
if you.
got a strong following, right?
Yeah, you'd be surprised once you start digging who's on this platform saying what.
I'm just saying that you already have a strong following, and you was actually part of the Black Manosphere. I'd already know who you were. It's a lot of people with big followings in all kinds of spaces, and I don't know who those people are, but it makes sense because I'm not in those spaces. But if you part of the Black Manosphere and you got a strong following, I already know you exist.
Mm.
So
Shit, dude is a maniac. And look, here's what like I don't personally carry myself like this. I don't carry myself as a just because they're saying this, I'm gonna say that. Like this is one thing I've always tried to give black men the credit for when we step on these platforms. I always give black men the credit for being better than they are. A lot of people don't believe I should be like this in essence, but I just have this distinct belief that black men are the better half. I mean, is because we are able to break things down logically and bring things to a sense of reason. And I'm not saying that's all of us. What I'm saying is that if I could choose who has the behavior, this kind of behavior between the male and the female, I will probably choose the male. I, would-
Real talk. Real talk.
I would probably choose the male. But one thing that I never really wanted black men to get into is saying just because she's doing it, I'm gonna do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Uh, so I think, my point kind of proven. If you have to go outside of us to say we bad, to bring up somebody who's not a part of us to say we bad, that means we're doing a great job. Because people gonna search out negative stuff. Because we got
Yeah.
all type of people in this space. We got people in the medical field. We got the PhDs. We got the lawyers. We got the what I'm saying. We got police officers. What I'm saying. We got accountants. We got all kinds of folks in the space. You know what I'm
And
saying?
but here's the thing. We also have regular everyday dudes as well.
I mean, regular everyday dudes who are people that's employed and doing exactly what they supposed to be doing in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you got to go find somebody that's not in the space to say the space is bad, that means we doing our job.
Mm.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then this is not necessarily for people like weather. It's because weather's cool. This
No,
is
no,
just
whether cool people, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying, and I don't think he meant nothing bad at all. What whether definitely, what I'm saying, that whether a real one, you know what I'm saying. So, but I'm just saying that's going to be what people are going to continue to have to do. You have to go find somebody outside the space to say the space is bad. And as long as
mm,
you have to go find somebody outside the space, say the space is bad, we doing what we supposed to do.
hmm
That's all I'm saying. You
mm,
know, just because a person black don't mean he part of the black manosphere. You can.
yeah.
It takes more than being black and a male to be part of the black manosphere.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. And if anyone disagrees, you can always speak up. That's one thing that I like about this particular chat on this channel is that you know we in this channel we do understand that there is going to be pushback on some of the things that we say. Ray Hama, what's going on? Shoot. Also, shout out to Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power. I haven't seen him in the chat tonight, but I'm sure he's here in spirit as well. So, just make sure that his presence is always known and acknowledged and appreciated.
Yeah,
Weather says, I hate this space, but I got love for a lot of the men in the space. I support you guys as content creators. Look,
but I mean,
it's all good. I mean, I'm just a guy that, you know, that I do respect the difference of opinions, but I'm also not afraid to say that I represent this space. I represent the Black Manosphere. So I understand the challenge that comes with saying something like that.
and I'm gonna say this too. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate what you said, Wes. I really do. But when it comes to the black manosphere, people try to judge us by an audience. If you have a space or you have a following, especially when it starts to go into tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and even millions of people, you can't judge the creators by the audience. Everybody got crazy folk that watch them. You know what I'm saying? How many people have been sent to prison that have been to NBA games? Tons.
Man, let me tell you something. Even as far as the group is concerned on Facebook, there were a lot of weirdos in the group, and it was just they were saying a bunch of crazy things, and I mean, I knew those things weren't representative of what I was trying to accomplish for that group, but yeah, there are always going to be crazy people around saying crazy stuff and try to fly that flag, trying to hide behind the label or the moniker of being brutally honest. They use a lot of weirdos. They use that as a way of making excuses for being hateful. So I do know how to acknowledge the existence of those particular kind, and and like for guys like that, and I'm gonna be on the air saying this. I wish these guys would calm the fuck down. You know,
Well, you
like
know what, Cam? What I'm saying is, I don't judge the NBA fans. I judge the NBA by the players.
you
Okay,
you
the
judging them by the players and not the fans.
the
Well,
players are the product. The
yeah,
players are the products. Okay. Now I understand when it comes to the black manosphere, people try to judge the black manosphere by the audience when the black manosphere is about the content creators. Now I got
yeah,
nothing against the audience because the audience are people that love us, appreciate us. You got a lot of great connections that people have made from the audience. So this is not a diss to the audience at all. But what I'm saying is people keep trying to find somebody in the audience to say, well, I found this guy in the audience who said this. Who cares? He's an audience member. I can't judge. I didn't judge the NBA based on the people who were sitting there talking about Michael Jordan play. I judged the NBA by Michael Jordan and the people who was on the court with him. That's what the NBA is. You know what I'm saying? There's a separation. There's coaches, there's players, there's medical staff, there's people who work at the facilities, and you know what I'm saying. All those people are important, but I don't judge the NBA based on the audience that's allowed to buy a ticket. Crazy people in their audiences too. Murderers are in their audiences. There are plenty of people who done went to prison for murder who went to NBA games. Same thing happened to the NFL. The same thing happened to Major League Baseball. It happens to anybody who has an actual following. So, unfortunately, part of the anti-black man thing expresses itself by people trying to find something negative about a space that's about black men. That's really what goes on. It's second nature to a lot of people. We've been trained to look for something to hate. This is a space about black men and for the betterment of black men, which means for the betterment of black people, and which literally means for the betterment of the whole country. You know, but people got to find something wrong with it. So what do? You look at the audience members. Ain't no organization on planet Earth measured by its audience. I'm not gonna be measured by an audience either, because anybody can be in the audience. Jeffrey Dahmer, you think he didn't like no sports or something? Y'all think he all he did was eat people and didn't do anything else? You think he ever turned on a baseball game? I'm sure he has. So I'm gonna judge the Major League Baseball based on him? No, I'm not gonna do that. It doesn't make sense.
mm, mm. Yeah, yeah, man. It doesn't, but there's not everyone has our insight. I'll say it like that. I mean, and honestly, I'm gonna tell you, is we've been doing this for years. We've been doing this for years. We've been observing these kinds of conversations for years, and just here to give our input. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Eh,
as I was just saying too, I had to take a showdown because somebody who was in the audience got on the show, flashed something they shouldn't have flashed. Now, I'm not gonna say that just because that one person did that, the whole audience is bad, or even the majority of the audience is bad. No, that's just a crazy person. That's all. Crazy people are allowed to show up in public places. That's the one thing about when you deal with the public. Crazy people can come too.
mm.
Yeah.
Weather has a question for you, Roger. He said, "But Roger, I have a question. Why
Okay.
all why all the focus on women?"
What should you focus on? If you're talking about a community, you have to focus on where problems are coming from. Unfortunately, in the black community, a lot of problem is coming from the women.
Mm,
It's hard to improve a people if one gender of those people are not being made to improve or not being told to improve. You could actually change it if men were actually causing the problems, and you never focused on the men. You can't improve that people. You know what problems are black is the black community even facing on a regular basis that don't include what women are doing.
Hmm.
It's not like there's none, but a lot of them is coming from what women are doing. The black community is almost in a self check state because they got women doing enough crazy stuff that it throws off the entire community. You got all these men doing all these great things, but what are people focused on? Are people focused on the fact that black men, are being educated? Are people focused on the fact that black men are getting jobs and doing all types of jobs they can't even stand sometimes, just to make sure they family is good? Are people focused on the fact that me and I have mentoring kids who don't belong to them? The men are doing all kinds of great stuff. But what do we hear about all the time? We don't hear about that. We hear about a group of people spreading a bunch of lies about what men ain't doing.
Hmm. I mean, good, very good point. The societal view is always going to be harsher on men than it is on the females, and we know and we understand that. So, and my question for you guys is, who are the ones that make the female successful? When you like, not even the divestors either. I'm talking about your general average everyday influencer content creator. It's a lot of their viewership are guys, are dudes, are men, are the same men that will sit up here and complain about this space not being man focused, not being male focused, when it pretty much is. But, if you are and I hate to throw this up like this, if you are a hetero black man, then, sometimes women are going to come into the conversation. Now, I was thinking about this earlier. Uh, it's not so much to try to get them to change or anything like that. It's just that when I reflect on when men were talking about women growing up, we it wasn't always these bitches need to do better perspective. It sometimes it'll be a ranking system, like, or you know then I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out here. We were discussing, we would play the whole "would you fuck her" game. Like the I hit that too, I hit that, I hit that. They're always gonna come into the conversation one way or the other. If we were to do, like, say for instance, how many male focused channels that you actually seen do really good and were really successful, I would say. And I'm not saying that, that you shouldn't have a male focused channel that focuses on just the improvement of the situation of the black man, but how many of those have you actually seen successful? And I know what saying that is going to lead to then, you're just doing it for the money, you're not really trying to help people, blah blah blah. I get all of that. I get all of that. But what I'm talking about is when you have a male focused channel in, just basically in existence for the introspect and, the improvement of the black man condition. how much support does that channel actually get?
All right, and
And you do have a
I'm a,
couple of channels like that. It's just that a lot of the guys, you may not have heard of some of these guys because of the fact that they don't get that much support. I'll name a couple channels that that are focused like that. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Billy Rowe. I mean, I tune into Billy Rowe sometimes. Billy Rowe was someone who was mentioned by O'Shea like about 3 years back, and the focus of his content is you know just the introspective part of the black man and how we can improve our situation. And it's not like we're dealing with a group of men that flock to channels like that. And I also get that a lot of people want to dabble into the fuckery aspect of things, uh, just to get some viewers and to get some attention to their channel. Now, although we do have these arguments about how there's a lot of channels that don't focus on the self improvement of the black man, which I see this argument being had all the time. What are you doing as a frequenter of channels to push the rhetoric that, hey, you know what, we need to go to this channel, we need to go to that channel, this channel is about some real shit, this channel is about self improvement, this channel is about bettering the condition of the black man? No, instead, we pay attention to all the nonsense.
well, Kev, I want to get here and say that I mean, when it come down to it, a lot of black men just can't simply see themselves. Y'all been so trained not to see yourself that you missed the lesson. Why are women spoken about? Because women are your greatest problem. Black men don't have a self improvement issue. Black men have been getting better by the decades, better by the years. Period. Our situation has been improving year in, year out. We not the issue. The when we're talking about women, most of the time it's so you as men can better operate with women. So y'all have an understanding of what's going on in the world. I literally just talked to two guys earlier today who was arguing about women who are being abused. And I say, bro, does she come home and unlock the door with a key? Was she not being abused? She with the man she want to be with because she like being hit. If a woman is with a man who hits on her, that's what she like. Guys don't even want to accept the truth about women. Now, why am I telling niggas, guys? You would think that conversation is about a woman if you just listen to what I'm saying. The conversation was for the men so they can understand. No, as a man, you have to learn to accept that women can think for themselves. They make choices on their own, and you need to learn how to move accordingly. Did I care that the woman was getting hit in the example that was being made? No, she's not important. What the important part is how a man needs to operate and understand what's going on around him. But a lot of y'all wouldn't be able to see yourself, so you think the conversation is about a woman. And I'm not saying that to Weather or anybody in particular. What I'm saying is y'all are so trained to not see yourself, you don't even get the lesson that people trying to put to you. Most of y'all don't have a problem if it don't come to a woman. There's a lot of black men facing that don't come from some woman. We got to learn to better operate in the world, and you have to operate in the world where women are included, unfortunately. And unfortunately, a lot of us ain't been trained on them. And that's not saying that to put anybody down. The thing is, you have to see what's going on with you. And if you can't see what's going on with you, you think it's about a woman. Bringing up women I'm not going to say it ain't going to help no woman at all. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, do you really expect 30 and 40 and 50-year-old women to even hear stuff that's being said? I mean, even a 20-year-old, if a woman's in her 20s, she hear a lot of the stuff that's being said, what are we all going to normally assume? She's 20s, or she's in her 20s, she's about having fun, she don't care nothing about the information being given. What are you going to assume if the woman's in her 30s? She's already set in her ways. She's just trying to come up on some dude to take care of her because she's getting tired of working on herself, but she ain't really going to change either. What we going to say about a woman in her 40s? Well, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. She you know what I'm saying? She just trying to get whatever she can because she on her last leg and she know it. Okay, so now she needs a retirement package, and some dude needs to be her retirement. We're not expecting a gang of women to hear nothing that's being said so they can change. But who will change? Men change because men adapt to their circumstances. The thing is, you got to understand your circumstance better so you can adapt to it better. You know, even as a small child going to church, what's one of the first thing I noticed about lessons being taught at church? You know one of the first lessons I learned? Men in the Bible was falling off left and right because of women. I'm talking about as a little kid. This is what I'm learning. Samson got a woman he messing with. His strength come from his hair. He doing all kinds of stuff. The woman started asking questions about where he get his strength from. He tell her nonsense, and the lady kept testing him. He was being a goof. He went and told her the truth. Every time you told her something, she tried to get you, and you was dumb enough to tell her the truth. You know, I'm trying to tell you, it's lessons in this. Samson told this woman multiple things that was an outright lie about where he got his strength from, and she tried him every single time he told her something. And the goofball still ended up telling her that he got his power from his hair. Now, that's Samson, one of the strongest men that ever lived. He was blessed to be strong. You know, he may not have been no big hulking type dude, but, you know, for some reason, you know what I'm saying, God made him where he was a show of strength. And that nigga still got taken down by a woman. Mm-hmm. Daniel was he was the youngest boy in his family and ended up becoming a king of a nation. And Daniel was having all kinds of great stuff happen for him. And then he focused on some broad that was married to somebody else, made sure the husband was going to be put in the war so he wasn't going to come back, basically put him on the front line so he can be killed, just so he can have his wife on some unfair stuff. And then Daniel started running all kinds of problems. Went down because of a woman. First man, Adam. Adam was in the garden, knew exactly what the serpent was talking about. Serpent deceived Eve, did not deceive Adam. Adam, for whatever reason, probably trying to protect the honor of a woman, Adam bit into an apple that he didn't have to bite into. Well, not an apple, but he bit into some fruit that he didn't have to bite into. And now every kid is now born in sin because Adam chose to try to help Eve in some kind of way. I'm gonna give him enough credit to say he was trying to be honorable to her when he should have just listened to God. And none of us would be born in sin right now. But no, you want to be worried about this woman. The lesson ain't about the woman. The lesson is about the man. The man failed because he put the woman in the place she shouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? Had Adam left Eve where she's supposed to be as a follower who did something wrong, and God come around, hey, God, I mean, I told her not to eat that apple. Well, whatever that fruit was, I told her not to eat it, but she ate it anyway. You know how it is. They do what they want to do. No. He want to bite it himself and put himself in the jam. And every child is born of him in the jam. And he could have just left Eve out there to dry. You know, now maybe God would have redeemed in some other way. Maybe not. Wouldn't have made me no difference. You did it. Knock yourself out. It's on you. But I'm going to be over here where it's good at. So Eve, lucky it wasn't me instead of Adam, because she'd have died on her own messing with me. I mean, but there's many examples you can give, You know what I'm saying? And I'm just telling y'all, as a little kid, that's one of the first things I remember learning in church. Women make men fall. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Men start listening to women and then they fall from grace. Solomon, wisest man that ever lived, richest man that ever lived. What? How he get in trouble? Messing with women he wasn't supposed to be messing with.
Mm.
You know, but I could talk about all this stuff, and y'all think I'm talking about women, and you don't even get I'm really talking about men.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. More than anything, I don't want black men making jackasses of ourselves, especially with women. Like it's, and I've seen it too many times. And it gets to the point of tedium, but at the same time, I'm not going to stop the next man or complain about the next man doing what he has to do or talk about what he has to talk about. Yeah.
Bro, Mike Tyson was one heck of a man, one heck of a fighter. Went against all kinds of stuff. Where did Mike Tyson's greatest challenge come from? Some woman. It was a woman that made him end up behind bars. It wasn't another man. Nobody broke his spirit or anything like that. It wasn't a man. Women are one of our greatest challenges as men. You know, Mike Tyson literally was out there beating the brakes off men for a living. Could do what he wanted to do. Had all kinds of money. Wasted all kinds of money. Man ended up on drugs and everything. What really messed him up? Some woman. He went to go see some woman.
Damn. Yeah, man. I mean, shit. It's nothing like what an ounce of prevention.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I like women too. They got what we want at the end of the day. But you got to
Hmm.
start making some choice about how bad do you want it and what you're gonna put it up against and what's the risk. Hey, I'm a normal man too. I like pussy too. Okay, but sometimes I turn it down.
Mm. Oh, what's going on? I see Art Newstall in the building. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I try to. I don't know. I try to be conscious of the messages that I send on this platform and make sure that there are no real harmful, bad, stupid narratives being pushed here. One thing that I will say to you guys is, whenever I speak, I do speak from the heart. I don't speak, as a according to everyone else's discretionary limitations, I would say, meaning that I don't speak because other people want me to speak on certain things. I speak on things that I decide to speak on, and it's never going to be because certain things that there people feel that are being discussed too much or not being discussed enough. At the end of the day, whatever myself and any of these content creators speak on is because though that's the decision that I made. And like I said, feel free to disagree, but if you want to ask me on why I speak on certain things to the point of ad nauseum, I would be more than happy to explain to any of you why. And I'm not one that speaks for other grown men, but I'm sure Roger feels something similar. Yeah. So Roger, is there anything else that you got to say on these?
Man, I do what's necessary. Yeah, it's that simple. You
Yeah.
know, some people don't won't necessarily like it, but there's things that are just necessary. Black men have been making great strides. You know, and how much longer did we suffer in slavery if it wasn't for them people who accepted them butter biscuits?
Man.
Them overseers who kept, and when the men's out there in the field plotting and planning, and it was somebody. I ain't gonna even say who it was. Y'all should be able to figure out. But somebody would come back and tell Master the plan. Stay up tonight, like Master. Don't go to sleep tonight. So Master in there resting with his gun instead of being asleep like he should have been. Because somebody wanted some butter biscuits. Because they liked their spot in the house.
Oh yeah.
They was comfortable. And them niggas in the field, they ain't care that much about. They rather Master keep them niggas in the field under control so they can be in a comfortable little spot. How much longer was slavery prolonged because of that?
Shit.
All the revolts that was going on.
Shit.
Yeah, ain't no way
Like,
to tell, but I'm just saying. To me, sometimes you gotta ask a few questions here and there.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say if none of that happened, that don't mean we was gonna get free anytime sooner. You just never know. But man, my thing is, I pay attention to what hurts me. You know, I know the representation that has been put out there about me.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's not a and to believe me, for any black man, it's not a very good representation.
Exactly. How many jobs did I lose because of our reputation ain't got squat to do with me? How many doors were slammed in my face because of stuff that ain't got nothing to do with me?
Hmm.
I get that this stuff affects us at the end of the day. We may not want to because we got egos, and I try to I tell people you got to get your ego out of this stuff here and there. You got to get your ego out of it, but man, we lose a lot for a reputation that most of us did not earn. Yeah. Oh, you was black. I didn't know black men take care of their kids. I mean, I've heard people say that. Oh, I didn't know black men take care of their kids.
Man, let
How
me
the
tell you
hell did somebody come to that conclusion?
let me tell you something. When my daughter was when she was in like the first couple years of her life, people used to have this weird intrigue as to seeing me with a baby in public, or it wasn't necessarily me, but it was a black man seen with his child in public. Like, the had this old guy would say, "Man, that's what we need to see more of." And I'm just looking at these folks like, y'all are some weirdos, man. You have actually uh, bought into and drank the Kool Aid. You know,
Mm.
this whole black men aren't there for their children, and instead of saying something like that, start asking yourselves why. Why is it that you hear all these sentiments saying that black men aren't there for their children? What circumstances led to that? And if okay, if you are a person that got married, had kids, and in just about every one of the cases, in about 99.9% of the cases, dude, like, I'm going to get me a pack of cigarettes, I'll be back, and never comes back, then I would see it is granted that is the case. I would see the reason for trying to continue to push narratives like that. But as I said before, if it's backseat boogie, or in the hotel room, or um under the bleachers of a stadium or in the elevator or in the park or whatever, if you're procreating through those circumstances and there's no marriage present, then you have actually worked against that father not being there. We push these narratives as if there are a bunch of black men out there that are doing what they are supposed to be doing in from day to day. And what I believe with a lot of people who come up here and deal with this subject matter, I do believe that you have a bunch of black men that do want to set the record straight,
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Hey, you know what? This isn't us. This is nothing but a blatant stereotype, and we need to get out of that state of mind. We're it's not That's not always the case. It's not this whole slew of black men just sitting up there just abandoning children, especially when a lot of these women out here have the same fucking baby father. You know, there are actually men, black men in particular, that are out here doing what we're supposed to do.
I don't even believe women when they say the man abandoned it. I ain't never met a man that abandoned a child. I ain't met one yet. I ain't saying they don't exist, but I'm pretty sure if it was like that, I was being told, I would know at least one or two of them. And y'all, people act like reputations don't affect them. I done dealt with a couple young ladies before that wasn't in the black community. They fathers did not want to meet me,
Mm.
and those relationships ended because of their fathers literally saying, you know what I'm saying? Now he can say it in front of me because he never met me. Okay, not any of them, but basically, when I was told, no, you ain't messing with that nigga.
Mm.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you might well let that go. And that was in my younger days. They were still living at home at the time. I don't know if I was living at home at the time. I probably was already gone, but what I'm gonna do? Go to their house and tell their daddy that she gotta listen to her daddy. You know what I'm saying? Now, what is that? That's called reputation. Did I create a negative reputation about black men? No, I did not.
No,
But did
no,
multiple non-black men
most of us
already?
don't. You know.
Exactly. Most of us don't. But these men I've never met had a whole lot to say about black men. You know, now and that's just dealing with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling how many jobs I done lost because of black men's reputation. Well, I ain't gonna even say jobs I lost. I'm talking about jobs I never even got because
Yeah.
of black men's reputation.
I mean, sad, but like I said, that's the reality that we deal with.
And it's at some point in time, you're gonna have to fight back against a narrative unless you're gonna accept that the narrative should be there.
Well, I think that a lot of people hide behind individualism. I think that it's much easier to, and it's not, and that's not wholly wrong. I think that a lot of people they hide behind this whole, I'm an individual, don't put me with the rest of the group, um, and I think that they view that as being easier. As long as they don't act within the archetype and the stereotype, that they won't deal with the challenges that comes with being a black man in Western culture. I mean, and really all over the world. Like, it's not that it's not that I'm trying to victimize black men. It's just I'm just letting you guys know what the situation really is.
Well, you know what, Kev? There's been many a time I've been the individual that didn't get hired. So having my high individualism wasn't working that well for me. Okay, because I was the individual that didn't get hired. Bro, I took a job at a company one time. They told us flat out. They said, If you keep the job for 30 days, you gonna pay X amount of dollars, and you'll be put into the union. You pretty much good. But
Mm.
we're over hiring, so a lot of you all will be fired. Okay, now nigga worked to the 29th day. You know what day I figured out I probably was getting fired?
What they?
Day two.
Damn.
Now, why did I think I was probably getting fired? Because I performed like a mug. I was doing the job. Every job they put me on, I took to it like it was nothing. Okay, it was a cakewalk for me, literally. But why? I know 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna probably get let go. Because as I walk through this place with all these hundreds of employees, I saw two other young black men like myself. This was when I was in my early 20s. This is like maybe 2021. I seen about two niggas my age. It was black men there, but all the black men that happened to be there at that time had to be around 35 to 40 years old at the youngest. Okay. And it was different colors of people that worked there. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of different people. It was a mixed group of people that worked there. Now, if you only see two niggas around your age, and guess what? Them two niggas just got hired too. You know what I'm saying? So it's three of us that's young and black. Every other dude got to be at least 35 years old that happens to be black. I didn't have a whole lot to put my faith in that I was gonna be one of the people that's kept when day 30 come up. You know? So I figured out that okay, I'm a now did that mean I wasn't gonna perform? No, I performed excellently. Did I outperform other people? Oh, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? This every job they gave me was nothing to me. So I was performing at a high level every task that I was given. I was blowing people's mind. But day two, I had already figured out what's what. Now some people are like, well, you probably brought that on yourself because that was you. No, I performed like I was the greatest that ever came through. But they ain't want no young nigga there. That's all there was to it. It's not no coincidence that I didn't see another young brother who didn't just happen to get hired. That wasn't a coincidence.
Mm.
You know, but what does that mean? People putting bad reputations on us, and we feel the effects of those bad reputations. You know, now had I been at that job and I put my time in because they only need you so many years, then you get this retirement package. I'd already be on that retirement package right now. No, I wouldn't. But I only have a few more years to go. I have a few more years to go, and no, I have about 6 more years to go. Six, seven, yeah, it's about 6, 7 more years to go, and I'd be retiring with a really good package right now.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that ain't, you know what I'm saying? I would have took the package. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't know no better back then. I'm gonna end up on something greater now. But I would have took the package and I would have been happy with it at the end of the day. But I lost all that all over something that ain't got nothing to do with me. But I got that reputation that I came in the door with. I didn't make the reputation. They're waiting on me when I got there.
Mm. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But hey, I think I'm about to wrap this up. Yeah, appreciate you coming through, brother, to sharing this convo. Always good to have another habitual line stepper present.
Absolutely. Long live.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll say this in closing. The the challenge is never ending. The challenge is never ending. It's just that throughout all this, I know it can become disturbing, but just the ability to self sustain and the resiliency that we display every day as black men is what's going to get us through. But um, just just to sum up what I was saying, I have my own reasons for this, and those reasons do keep me motivated, and I can pretty much say the same thing for all of you as well. You know what your reasons are for uh, even existing in this point of time. So I'm going to give some shout outs of people that I've seen. Juan G's is in the building. Um, just pretty much just keep your head up from week to week and continue to display the resiliency that we are known for as far as black people. And we, of course, know that that strength comes from us as black men. So just you guys just give yourselves a pat on the back and just make it work as you've always made, as you've always done, from week to week. And with that being said, I'm out. So if Roger doesn't have anything left to say, I think that it's pretty much a wrap for now. So,
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
all right. So, just in closing, I'll say this: long live the habitual line steppers. And Kev, we trust. Uh, I'm gonna win, and when that happens, we all win. So, peace out, guys. Till tomorrow.